Hello, hello. Today we're talking about something that I see way too often, more often than I really should. It is about business owners who are stuck on the wrong website platform, paying monthly fees for features they never use, feeling overwhelmed every time they want to make a simple update, or the worst thing that could happen is ending up with a website that doesn't even represent their business well. I just finished up a project with a consultant who was in this exact situation and inspired me to create this episode. Today, I want to help you figure out if you're on the right platform for your business. We'll talk about signs that your platform could be wrong and how to actually choose the right one and what it takes to make the switch if you need to do it. Because your website platform should make your life easier, not harder. It should support your business goals and not drain your budget. And it definitely shouldn't keep you up at night worrying about whether you can figure out how to make a simple update. So let's get into it. Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high-performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B, web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode. Okay, I have a story for you. Today's episode was inspired by a recent client that I had, and she is not alone. I felt like I have worked with a number of people in her position, and I thought I could talk about some platform issues today. Before I get into this story, my background about platform issues is I am a website designer. I work on WordPress. That is my chosen website platform. However, there are a lot of different platforms out there, and there are platforms for everyone based on what you need. And today I want to share a little bit about what happened to my client and what we did to help remedy the situation she was facing. So, she was a nonprofit consultant and advisor, and she was also a writer and had worked in the nonprofit industry for over 25 years. She had a Kajabi website. And at certain times in her career, she was taking on more clients than others. She, at one time, I believe, had a blog. She was considering a membership. She had a newsletter. And at one point in time, someone suggested for her to sign up to Kajabi. It was a number of years ago. And at that time, I do believe Kajabi wasn't as expensive as it is today. The thing about Kajabi and platforms that are similar to that is that they're an all-in-one solution. They are designed for people who are using all of the options. And for my client, she was only using it to build her website. And what she found was that when she got onto the platform, she was having a hard time making simple updates to her website. She also had a lot of features that she never used. With her platform, you could have a membership area, you could have courses, automated email sequences, lots of different things. And it didn't feel like her. What she actually needed was a professional online presence that showcased her expertise, and it made easy for people to reach out to her and to sign up for her list. That's it, nothing complicated. It represented her brand. She was having a disconnect because she was spending a lot of money every month, and it was actually going up this year. She was feeling frustrated with the platform because she wasn't able to make simple changes. For example, the hero section of her website, it was so difficult to be able to get an image and words alongside of it. Simple updates, it just wasn't working. It wasn't representing her brand. She was feeling frustrated. The website, of course, didn't look like how she wanted it to, and she felt stuck and she needed to make a change. And the thing about what I'm sharing with you is that sometimes we end up on platforms because they were recommended to us. Be it a friend, be it a business colleague, be it a business coach. I work with a lot of clients who are recommended a specific platform from a business coach, and it actually wasn't the best platform for them. Sometimes we sign up for platforms because we see all the bells and whistles that the platform has, all those features that maybe someday we'll use all of them. But the truth is, if your platform isn't serving your actual business needs today, it's costing you more than just money. How do you know if you're on the wrong platform? Let's get into some red flags. The first one is that you're paying for features that you never use. If you have a monthly subscription and you're paying $20 a month, that's $240 a year. But if it's costing you $100 a month, that's $1,200 a year. That money could be going towards actual marketing for your business. Some copywriting help, some better photography to have on your website. Maybe you have some marketing help. Someone helps you with your newsletter. Think about what you're paying for and what you're getting with it. You'll see maybe that you are paying for a course hosting area, but you don't have courses. E-commerce, a members area. Maybe you're paying for appointment booking that you never set up. It's that someday thinking. I might create a course someday. I want to have it, or I might sell product eventually. Meanwhile, you never use it and you're paying for years for this. Like I shared with my client before, she was on the platform Kajabi and she had all of these extra features. She wasn't planning on using them. Maybe someday, or at one point she might have used them, but then she was stuck on this platform that had all of this extra bloat. The second red flag is that making updates on your website, it feels overwhelming or impossible. Every time you may need to make a simple update, it is a whole ordeal. You avoid updating your site because it's too complicated. It just, it takes too much time. You have to watch a tutorial if you want to change a button color or make a text edit. Or perhaps you need to hire someone every time you want to add a page on your website. Your website should be easy enough for you to manage, you personally. And if you're avoiding updates because it's too hard, that could be a platform problem and not a you problem. The third red flag is that your site doesn't look or feel like you want it to. And this goes back to my example. She had tried to customize her website many different times, but there were only certain things that she could do. The template that she was using looked all like all the other templates, and she couldn't really make it her own. She was stuck with the platform's aesthetics. If your website looks like everyone else's on that specific platform and you're not able to make changes to make that website yours, to bring out your personality, that's a red flag. The fourth one is that you are fighting with the platform to do basic things. And this goes back to the updates that feel overwhelming. But if you are trying to make a change, you want to add a simple contact button, but the platform requires you to use this complex long form builder, or you can't change the navigation the way you want to. If there are SEO limitations, and this I find in Go High Level, it's a little bit more challenging to do certain things with SEO. Or mobile looks broken and you can't fix it because you're stuck on the platform. That's a red flag. And the final one is that costs keep going up. It's true, in the last couple of years, prices have been going up everywhere. Inflation, everything is increasing, subscriptions. But if it keeps going up, and you need to upgrade to just access basic features, that's a problem. If you need to keep having add-ons and plugins, these all add up. If you have to buy a template and you have to pay for that premium template, that costs extra. And that if there's an annual renewal fee that keeps going up, that's a problem too. Think about how much you're spending and think about how much you're spending over the year and make sure that it is worth your investment and that you're not paying for things that you don't need. So let's talk a little bit about some platform options and what each platform is good for. Because there really is no such thing as the best platform. I do work on WordPress. I love it. I think it's fantastic for my clients. But the best platform for you is the best platform for your specific business needs. A couple examples. The first one that I mentioned from my example that my client was moving from was Kajabi. This is a great platform for course creators, membership site owners, if you sell a digital product and you have an online education business. If you have all of those, this is a great product for you because you are combining the cost of all of those things into one single place. That's who I think this platform is for. It does that course hosting, the student management, the payment processing. It really does it all. But what it doesn't do well is simple service-based websites, service-based business websites, portfolio sites, or just like a basic company website. That's what it doesn't do well. So if you are selling the courses, running a membership, doing all the things, then I think maybe Kajabi is a great fit. But if you're not, then I think it's not the best place for you to be. Now, the next platform that I send people to is Squarespace. I think this is really well for newer businesses, creative, simple service businesses. What it does well is it has beautiful templates. It's easy to use, it's a drag and drop, it's good for portfolios. If you're selling a few products, just a couple, it's definitely fine for that online e commerce. What it doesn't do well is complex customization if you need something out of the ordinary. It also doesn't do well with scalability if you're growing. It's harder to grow with that. But for the investment, it is a good place for smaller businesses to start. Then there's WordPress, and that is where I work. I think that this is a great place for people of all ends of the spectrum. I think it's for anyone who wants full control of their website and they're planning to grow. They want to own their platform and they are a service-based business or someone who cares about SEO. It has so many customizations. It has a huge plugin library. It can grow with you and you own everything. Now, what it doesn't do well is it needs to be set up the proper way for a client to use it easily. Sometimes when you think about WordPress, you think about more of those complicated websites, the ones that are coded or have a difficult back end. That is true. It can be set up that way. But the way that I do it is I use a page builder. So this is basically as easy as using Squarespace. It's a click, point and click and make a change and move things around. If your website, WordPress website, is set up well, it will be easy to use. If it's not, then it could require more technical knowledge to use the back end. So there is my little disclaimer. And the other thing is that it does need separate hosting. But once you have that hosting, and if you can find a reliable, inexpensive hosting provider like I have for my clients, which is ICD Soft, it actually can be less expensive than Squarespace. So think about that. If you can find a great host, a reliable, inexpensive host, and you have this website built for you, it could even be less expensive than something like Squarespace in the long end. And then finally, there's the platform Shopify. And this is for people who are selling things. And I have clients who are on this. I don't typically do e-commerce on WordPress. I find that WooCommerce is what it's called. I find it's a little bit more difficult on WordPress. It's not user-friendly. And it just doesn't make myself or my clients happy in the back end. And I'm all about making things easy and happy. So I typically build Shopify sites for e-commerce businesses, product sellers, physical, digital products. It does everything so well with the payment processing, shipping integration, inventory management. But what it doesn't do well is service-based businesses or blogs. Think about, what are you doing? What are your goals? Are you service or are you product? If you're service, then probably another platform like Squarespace or WordPress would be better for you. And if you are selling something, then Shopify would be the best shopping platform for you. So those are a few different platforms that it would be good to understand and who it's a good fit for. The cost of being on the wrong platform, it's not just about money. It costs you time. Think about how many hours you've spent trying to figure out the platform. And actually, I want to go back to something. When I say platform, I could also mean, in terms of WordPress, the theme that you're using. Because I have had a lot of business coaches share to their clients to be on this specific theme in WordPress, and it's really difficult. So you can put this into practice with your WordPress themes too. If you are not on the right theme, it could be costing you all of these things. So the first one is time. You are trying to figure out the platform, the theme. You're watching tutorials. You're trying to troubleshoot. And time is money, especially for us small business owners. It's so true. The second one is money, okay? The platform fees, the premium templates, if you have to pay for upgraded plugins or tiers, or if you have to hire help because you can't figure it out. My client was paying Kajabi fees and she wasn't updating her site because it was too complicated. So she was paying in both time and money. And then the third one is mental energy and stress, that decision fatigue, stressed about your website, embarrassed because when you send people there, it doesn't look like you. This trickles down to everything in your business. It makes you feel Like, you don't want to talk to someone and tell them about your business and then send them to your website. Or if you do send them to your website, you're putting a disclaimer, but don't don't worry about my website, try go to my social media, or my website is old, so don't let that put anything into your mind. Things like that. It stresses you out. It causes you mental energy and stress. And then, of course, there's the lost opportunities. When those people you meet in networking meetings or those potential clients visit your website, maybe they leave confused. They don't know what you're talking about. Maybe when you met them in person, you were sharing about specific services and then it's not on your website or your website's not converting. Think about how many potential clients you've lost because your website wasn't doing that outdated or confusing site. It reflects on you and your brand. People judge your business by your website, and first impressions do matter. You can't position yourself as an expert with an amateur site that doesn't work for you. Now, I told you all of the costs. I shared with you the different platforms and themes and the signs. Let's talk about what to do if you actually want to switch platforms. First thing is get clear on what you actually need. What do you need? What are those must-have features? What do you wish you could do, and what frustrates you the most right now? And think about your business model. Are you selling products, services? Do you need e-commerce, or are you just trying to get lead generation? And a blog, do you have some, or do you just have a few pages? And then think about your future. What are you going to add in the next year? Don't plan for someday that might never come, because that's how we get into these problems. But plan for the next year. What do you think could happen? Write everything down. And this is your requirement list. And then do some research. You can look into the platforms that I mentioned earlier. Look at other examples in your industry. You can ask your business friends what they use. And don't go with what's popular. Don't choose a platform because your friend loves it, because your friend might have completely different business needs than you. Think about what are your needs and then try something out. And then finally, plan for the transition. It's going to take you a little bit. If you're doing it yourself, it could even take you a little bit longer. So set a realistic timeline and consider working with a professional, because a professional can help guide you and do things right. And that's exactly what I did with my client. We actually did my design in a day service, where she gave me her content and her vision, and then I built the entirely new WordPress website in one focus day. Sometimes that's the best way to switch, is just kind of rip the Band-Aid off and make it happen. So when should you make that switch? When your platform is actively hurting your business, you're losing potential clients because of your website, the cost is starting to hurt your budget, you're avoiding updates because it's too hard, your site doesn't represent you, or you have a specific event or launch coming up and you want to feel like your website is going to shine when you send people there. So to wrap it up, we talked a lot about platform overwhelm today and how to know if your platform is costing you more than money. The big takeaways that I talked about: not all platforms are created equal. There are different platforms for different needs. And the wrong platform costs you way more than just the money that you're spending. It costs you that time, that mental energy, lost opportunities, and potentially your brand reputation. And if you're stressed about your website, that is a real, true cost. There really never is a perfect time to make the switch, but there is a right time. And if your platform is actively holding you back in your business, then now is probably the time. And if you're realizing that you might be on the wrong platform, I would love to help you figure out what's right for you. I offer website coaching calls. You can book one in the show notes, and we can have a call and even start getting clarity on what's working and what's not with your current site and figure out where to go next. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will talk to you next time. And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.